that is evidently promoting the idea that faith comes through signs and wonders, that is, through the demonstration of miracles and spiritual manifestations of various kinds. But what do the scriptures say? The scriptures actually say something quite different. The letter of the Apostle Paul to the Romans has this to say in chapter 10, verse 17. So faith comes from hearing, and hearing by the word of Christ. That is, faith comes from hearing the biblical testimony of Christ's atoning death and his resurrection. And this faith-inspiring biblical testimony is summarized very effectively by the Apostle Paul in his first letter to the Corinthians in chapter 15 and verses 1 to 8. And this is the Apostle Paul writing to the Corinthians. Now I make known to you, brethren, the gospel which I preached to you, which also you received, in which also you stand, by which also you are saved, if you hold fast the word which I preached to you, unless you believed in vain. For I delivered to you as of first importance what I also received, that Christ died for our sins according to the scriptures, and that he was buried, and that he was raised on the third day according to the scriptures, and that he appeared to Cephas, or Peter, then to the 12. After that, he appeared to more than 500 brethren at one time, most of whom remain until now, but some have fallen asleep. Then he appeared to James, then to all the apostles, and last of all, as it were to one untimely born, he appeared to me also. Now, what is of first importance, of greater importance than all else, according to Paul, is that Christ died for our sins according to the scriptures. As the sinless Son of God, he was the only acceptable offering for sin, and his coming as that only acceptable sacrifice was according to the scriptures. That is, his coming was prophesied centuries beforehand, such as in chapter 53 of the book of the prophet Isaiah. The Apostle Paul states in verse 2 of 1 Corinthians chapter 15 that we are saved, that is, saved from the eternal death resulting from sin, if we receive this word that Christ died for our sins and hold it fast. Christ's resurrection from the dead was the evidence that his suffering and death had completely satisfied the law of sin and death on our behalf. We can therefore have confidence that when we receive and accept by faith the word that Christ died for our sins and hold fast to this, that we are saved from the penalty of sin. The apostle also states in verse 1 of 1 Corinthians chapter 15 that we will then be enabled to stand, that is, to continue in the new life that Christ brings.